So this is the Vitalice, I think you would probably call it a almost transportable plunge pool that I bought recently. Not that I have any intention of transporting it anywhere, but basically, let's remove the top. It's to do cold plunges in. So that keeps the dirt out. And it comes with an inflatable pillow, not that I generally use that. And importantly, a thermometer. Now it's a bit warmer today, and that says 21 degrees. That's going to change pretty soon because we're going to fill it full of ice. It also comes with this attachable, extendable drainage hose, which is pretty handy because basically you can drain it straight onto the garden when you need to empty the tub to clean it, which is every couple of weeks or so. And what's really good, and one of the reasons I got this particular plunge pool, is it comes with all these containers which are for freezing ice, and there's 8 of them. And what I'm going to do, because they are frozen, they've been in the freezer, so I'm just going to put them in here. When it melts a bit, the ice will come out pretty easily. And depending on the temperature of the day, I find these will take the temperature down to 11 or 12 degrees. Today's a little bit warmer, so probably more around 12. If we want to go colder, we're going to have to add a little bit more, which is what we're going to do a bit later. I got some other things to go and get on with while that's melting, and then we'll come back to it. Okay, it's been probably about, I don't know, 20 minutes, and they're nicely melted now. That'll just come out. And what I can do then is just fill it up with water, which is obviously getting a little bit more chilled, and seal it in the container, and that goes straight back in the freezer. Because naturally, as ice goes in, that's water going in, so water coming out, well, the water level's not going to change at all, is it? And yeah, it's just a way of getting it back in the fridge, or in the freezer I should say, and it's already part way to being frozen again, which is particularly good if you're going to be using it in the morning, early morning, and you need the ice. Right, I'm just going to let this melt for a while. Currently we're around 18 degrees, and normally the ice in the container would get it down to about 11 or 12. I don't think we're going to get close to that tonight, so I'm going to have to go and get some other ice to help it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Do you think that's going to be enough? Hope it's going to be enough, otherwise it gets quite expensive. This is one of the problems when you do this when it's not winter and when it's in the evening and it's reasonably warm. You go through a lot of ice, and in the middle of winter, first thing in the morning, you're going to be well on your way. Right, most of it's melted. We're down to, it's under 9 degrees, so that's a good result, and I think that's probably our optimum temperature tonight. So nothing like the present. In we get. This is probably colder than I've had it before. This. And what you find happens is it takes about maybe 1.5 minutes to adjust. I'm certainly noticing it's a bit colder tonight. Oh yeah, I'm going to time myself. Not going to do anything ridiculous. Probably just a few minutes. Normally they say, at least 3 minutes, but I've been ill recently, so I'm not going to do anything insane. And let's see how we go. So, why am I doing this? Well, recently I decided to have a bit of a lifestyle change, and I've always been reasonably healthy, but in the last couple of years, I can't deny it, I've let my diet go a bit, I've got out of shape. I've been drinking probably more alcohol than I normally would, which isn't a lot, but I'm not a big drinker, so
I decided I need to do a few things differently. And in part, this came about, this catalyst sort of caused that. That was that I ended up in an ambulance about a month ago. And I don't actually really know why. Some really strange symptoms, and I nearly passed out at work. I thought, could it be heart issues? Could it be some kind of issue in the brain? Many people will say yes, but probably not a sinister one. And I didn't know, but what I think it actually is probably is essentially a lot of stress causing anxiety. So within a few weeks, because all the tests that came back really didn't show anything significant, maybe a little bit of inflammation, but I get that with my autoimmune issue I have from time to time. So basically I got back in the pool, started exercising, got back on the bike, started exercising there, cut out alcohol completely for the moment. Yeah, I know, boring, but it is what it is. And cut out coffee. And the next thing I need to do is really look at the diet and maybe even try some fasting to try and lose weight, which of course is going to be really good for trying to optimize my weight category in go-karting. But this is another thing I wanted to try. A lot of people say that this, really gives you a new lease on life, cold showers, doing cold plunges. A lot of people say give it a go. And I must say, after doing it, it's a little bit uncomfortable whilst you're doing it. And the colder you do it, of course, the more uncomfortable it's going to be. But afterwards, it gives you a bit of a rush, which is essentially endorphins and things like that. So that in itself is quite good for dealing with anxiety and things like that. And I don't get anxiety from, a lot of my adventure activities I do, whether it's cave diving or free diving or climbing back in the day, or, most recently going round in circles, going back to go-karting. I find all of those reasonably relaxing from an emotional point of view, because you can't really think of anything else while you're doing it. But in particular, when I used to free dive, I found that the breathing up for free diving was really therapeutic on the surface before descending. Probably cave diving as well, cave diving in cold water. Once you've adapted, really quite relaxing. And so I thought I'd give it a go. And this is kind of the start of the journey. I've been doing cold showers for a few weeks. Got to the point I found that fairly easy, so I thought I'd jump in the tub, reduce the temperature, and here we are. And today I think we're just going to do about maybe 5 minutes. We're coming up for that pretty shortly. And from there, just warm up. You can go obviously a lot longer. I think the second you start shivering, it's too long though. And I think what I might do is come back to this subject maybe in a number of months when we've got the temperature down even lower, and just see how we go with that. Maybe the middle of winter will be a good time to do that.